So this is the drawing so far from yesterday's vlog. I did fill it in with a few more Copics, Copic greys on the darker areas, and then I can overlay with these polychroma pencils. I sort of still feel it isn't finished yet, but it's a good The Thing tribute piece. I've got to think about maybe the background or something, but I spent a good deal of time trying to add a lot of detail and shade into this, and there's some cool looking fleshy blood colours. That was the main thing. So yeah, it's nearly finished, I'd say. Just a few more details and things like that. But I'm going to draw something new today and try and finish this later on. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Hi there, so I have an idea for an illustration, and I'm just using this flex curve just to mark off this section, because this section will be just a dark sort of black area, like shadows. And put that to one side, and out of the shadows there's going to be all sorts of creatures and things, but I need to work them all out really. I'm going to have something with a head there. I'm just going to have an arm there, like a weird top body torso thing there, and there's going to be all sorts of stuff coming through here. Some tentacle creatures and other stuff, and I want all that areas that's going to be dark, shadow, something like that. Let's try and work on creating a lot of other stuff. Maybe the bottom jaw of something, some creature. Top jaw, perhaps. Something there. Don't know what it is. Like demon creatures of some sort. Is that tentacle attached to this creature? I don't know. Tentacle arm. Could be. And a crazy looking there's an eyeball there on top of this demonic looking head, which will maybe have his eyes gouged out there, and he's just got this large eyeball on the top of his head. It's mad stuff. Yeah, maybe the mouth is going down the middle of his face. This is more like a doodle time, where I'm just doodling something, see if it'll work. Just an idea I had really. Maybe in the shadows I can draw some light, sort of highlights of things. But for the most part it's all dark. You know, maybe like eyes in the shadow, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, but I can come back to that. I want to add more in here. Maybe there's other bits. Other horror tentacles. Just about working out a drawing, an illustration that's different to other stuff that I've created. I'll just zoom in slightly and we'll see if we can try and add in things like in the background and more stuff, more elements. I want it to be like a busy drawing. So like I said, try and do maybe some other elements, maybe some thinner tentacles just in the background, just to, you know, add a bit more to it. And like I said, some of this could just be more in darkness, but try and extend it through, and you know, like they're coming out of the shadows, these creatures. It's a possible idea. Doodle time horror art. Something like that. So as well as me drawing this horror stuff, I've been thinking about trying to tackle other sort of stuff that isn't horror, but I'll put it in separate sort of playlists. It'll only be every so often where I just try and draw other stuff. I have done like sort of similar stuff in the past where I've tried drawing like Pokemon and other little things, and you know, I think it'll be just good just to maybe try and draw a few other things and see what I could do, and you never know. Maybe try approaching art differently, you know, in different ways, as I have been, but maybe more of it, just to see what I can create. I do not know. So yeah, this is it's going okay, I suppose. Maybe there's like spikes on the back of his arm there. Yeah, I like that. Could work this one. Not too sure at this moment, but yeah, the elements are looking alright. The sketch, I'm sort of trying to always be aware of like negative spaces and things like that in your drawing, and trying to balance the composition and things like that, because that can sometimes throw you off. And you know, if you don't like fill up the page in a certain way and arrange things a certain way, it doesn't look right. Or it could look better if you arranged it in a different way. So I'm trying to, you know, come up with different ways of sort of challenging that. And this dark area here will sort of like fill up that gap there, and then any sort of gap there will be just like lighter areas maybe, so it's like shadow going into light. So maybe all this area is all busy and then there's just like white space there, so that might balance it up sort of how I want it, I think. Don't know, we'll just see. I decided, you know that print that I showed you earlier on with the thing, I'm gonna make copies of this and just sell a print each, like for £5, and maybe throw like a sticker or something in, and you know, yeah, so I'll probably do like a few copies of that. I may add a bit more to it, flesh out a bit more of the colours, but for now I'd say that's near enough done. I would have done like a black background to it, but I might just leave the background white. It just saves me time going on, you know. But yeah, I'll be doing a print of that, so probably have it available on my eBay page, or I don't know, Etsy. I ain't really tried Etsy. I've got an account with them, but I ain't really set things up on there properly yet, so but I could, you know, I'll tell you where it's listed when I get on with it, and see if I can get other prints finished and just build up quite a few. So the part of this year is obviously trying to sell a lot of my artwork in print form, or put them on other products like stickers and things like that. Just have a go. Need to have more of a go instead of not really trying, you know, things like that. Yeah, I'm still unsure about this sketch, but I think I'll start inking. I'll just get a Sharpie marker. Maybe add some thicker lines. Thicker lines underneath. Yeah. Keep the lines rough for now. We can clear things up a bit later, straighten them out. But I just want to do clear, thick lines underneath. Yeah. I'll do too many of these thick lines. I just need to balance it up as always with these ink sketches. Use a thinner ink pen. Let's use a thicker ink pen. A thinner ink pen, sorry. Get it right. Just want to do basic outline lines. Just like try and get the basic lines that I want first before filling in any like shading and stuff like that. Keeping it quite sketchy for now with the ink lines that I'm trying to sketch in, but again, we can clean them up later on. I did a bit more of this one. I just did like a bit of a black outline on certain areas and try and flesh a bit more out with like coloured pencil and a few more markers here and there. Still got the teeth to sort out and the sort of colour on the skull. I've got it like to a yellow colour, which I want. But I've just got to try and work on more pinks and maybe some purples just to darken everything, reds and that on the brain section there. And a lot of these drips and stuff with all this slime I want to try and sort out with maybe some greens or something, I don't know. We'll try and work it out, but yeah, it's been a fun sort of process trying to do, because originally I started this with just the liquitex inks as a little sketch, and that over like a pencil sketch. So I was going to ink it at first, but then I thought no, I'd approach it differently and just maybe try and add a bit more to it. I don't know. It's been a fun sort of experiment, like a process. Yeah, so I'll just update you more on that when I do more, because when you zoom in you can see all the little paint strokes and things like that, but then when you zoom out it's like it sort of closes all together and looks more like a half decent drawing. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you that quickly. Yeah, interesting working things out. I'm also trying to work on that, I ain't done more of that card design yet. I've sort of like left it for a little bit, but I've decided I'm gonna get rid of the hair and just keep it like a bald looking demon. Then I can do more of the background without any like little fiddly lines and things like that. So, and then I've got to work on adding the design in the corners there, the 9 of hearts. But yeah, I'm gonna wink that like heart shape there that's painted with blood on the sort of shirt, and then it'll have the 9 like carved into her head, you know, just to show that it's like the 9 of hearts card. Yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that. I'll try and do a bit more of that later on, erase all the pencil lines and try and finish the inking, and I'll start colouring that. Yeah, but I really like that actually. It's a good idea, and it's good that I've got like a bit of creative freedom just to do what I want for the card instead of like a theme, like I said. Yeah, so jolly good. Back to this sketch. Still adding more bits to it, but I'll zoom back in because I've zoomed out for some reason. So I just got slightly sidetracked there. Sorry about that. To make 1 sandwich, then 2 sandwiches, then drinks for everyone. It's that sort of time. I've got some liquitex paint now. I'm just gonna black paint. I'm just gonna fill in this area, and if it thins out and goes a bit grey, I'm not too bothered at this point. I can just go over it. I just want the darker sort of shadowy bits. Well, the shadow part here, they're still dark anyway. I'll maybe make this not like a line, but we'll follow the curve and maybe have the shadow maybe creeping into the picture like that's alive as well, you know, that's part of something, I don't know, evil stuff, and the rest is all just dark. I could have used like a marker or something, but paint, I can just spread it out and use less of it. just go over it just to make it totally black. Again, just get some of the shadow just creeping in. And there's, you know, little bits here and there. Yeah, so that's the type of effect I want to go for anyway. Some more shadow creeping through. We get some more liquitex. Put it in my palette. There's always some sort of buckling of the paper, but I'm not too bothered about that. It's cheap paper this, but it's like white card, so I like using it anyway. Spread this out. I'm not bothered at this point of getting like an even coat of this black. I'll just fill it in and go over it next time. I'll do for now. And concentrate on inking the rest of this. Yes, I did start inking a little bit more after the last time I did that, and sort of realised I didn't click record. That's why I got distracted by making sandwiches everywhere and drinks for everyone. Sort of disrupts what I was doing then, but never mind. Didn't really miss a lot, just a little bit here and there. And all that jazz. Yeah, right, where's that number? Ah, there's the thinner. I've got the thinner ink pen here. I've got an 03. Maybe go in and get some of these spikes and like finer sort of detail that I want to pick out. So in the background later on this drawing I'll probably do some grey, like thin greys, I don't know, maybe cool greys or something, just to show the transition out of the darkness, and then that's just going to be white at that end, so like opposite black and then white sort of thing, just to show like a little contrast of the illustration idea that I've had really. So yeah, drawings like this sometimes early on you think they might not work, and then the more you progress with them, I can see something in this, so that's why I'm continuing with it. So we'll just see how it goes, but I'm hopeful of this one to be a drawing that I'm going to be happy with, and plus I can add more elements as it goes on as well. I can, you know, maybe decide to add more tentacles perhaps in the background, I don't know. We'll just work it out. Work it out. That's all that matters. I just want to do some real thin looking details on the tentacles and things, and minor sort of ink work. So what I'll do, I think, is maybe do more of this off camera and then come back to it, and maybe erase the pencils and just see what else I can add to it, and we'll come back to it. I think it needs more thinking about sometimes, drawing, you know, bit of thinking time, and just a bit of just getting on with stuff and seeing if I could add more to it, more to a drawing. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. I'll come back to this and hopefully you'll see more added to it, and I'll explain what I've done. It may change, it may not, I don't know. Sometimes drawings like that. So I've made some small progress on this, some more details added, a lot of shadowing and stuff like that. I do like the sort of like shadow being part of, you know, like a misty sort of thing. I don't know, like creeping inwards or creeping along with these creatures and stuff like that. This side's starting to curl a bit, but I can straighten that out. Maybe try and iron it. Yeah, but just trying to work in a few. There's another little serpent there, and there's these little eyeball things that look like fucking dicks or something, I don't know. So yeah, I'll just work on this some more. I'm going to end the vlog there. I've got other sort of pieces of artwork that I want to try and finish. But I was well surprised I near enough finished that thing inspired two heads creature thing. I like the colour work that I've done with that, so if I can sort of keep to that level of nearly finishing artwork or properly finishing artwork, then I'll be happy to finish quite a lot of artwork that I've started but not done. But yeah, so that's my plan for today. I've got to run a few errands as usual and chill out sketching the rest of the day. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.